Hey guys, hope you're doing well this morning. It's morning here in Norway. I've just started my summer vacation and I'm coming to you with another tutorial. And today I'm going to show you a little bit of a track I just recently made called Shoplifting. Shoplifting in my hometown. I've had a lot of comments on that track. Some of the comments have been about the lyrics, and I'll get back to that shortly. But some of the comments has also been about the composition and some of the techniques I've used in this composition. So I thought, well, why not give you a little insight into how my brain works, if you know what I mean. So let's get started. Okay, so let's go through the verse first. We take a look at the chords and how I arrange my melody to go along with the chords. It's in E flat minor. What would my mother say if she found out that I went shoplifting in my hometown today? So the key here is that the notes I'm singing, the end of each line, doesn't necessarily end up with the same top note as the chord I'm playing. Let me give you an example. If I take the E flat minor chord, you can do that in many different ways. Like that, or like that, or like that. So if I'm singing and I'm taking this chord, I try not to necessarily end up with that note I'm singing. The texture, the effect, the overall feeling of that will be different and somewhat better than if I play the same note as I'm ending up with at the top of the chord. What would my mother say? So here I'm ending on that E flats. What would my mother say? But I'm playing, so I am ending up on a key higher up the octave from the note I'm singing. That's a tip, a trick that's often used to add a little bit more texture to the overall feeling of what you're hearing as a listener. And another thing I'm using in this verse is I'm not playing the same chord throughout each bar. Let me give you an example. What would my mother say if she found out? I'm doing a transitional chord from that E flat minor over to the B. So I could do it in a very standard, non-dynamic way. What would my mother say if she found out? That sort of sounds a little flat, don't you think? What would my mother say if she found out? So going through the G flat chord with the E flat bass notes to the B, that sort of adds a little dynamics to the whole thing. And the same goes on. What would my mother say if she found out that I went Another little step made to increase the dynamics and sort of add texture. That I went shoplifting in my hometown. So I'm scattered these steps, these little root bass notes and chord variations throughout the verse to add some tension and a little bit more adventurous feeling to the overall thing. Oh, about that lyrics, well, this song is not about love, it's about stealing. It's really a true story. When I was about 10 or 11 years old, me and my friends from school, we did a little shoplifting in the local stores. It was mostly bubblegum and chocolate. And it didn't last for very long either, because I always had the fear of what my mother would say if she caught me, because she worked in one of those stores. So many years afterwards, I wrote this song, and I've come clean in terms of talking to my mother, and we're cool about it, and it's a long time ago. So, well, I can't undo it now, but I can say, don't steal. And I could do some little walking bass as well. What would my mother say if she found out that I went shoplifting in my hometown today? So I ended up with the E flat minor chord as I started out the whole thing. And now we go into the chorus. And the chorus is a little bit more traditional. It's really only 2 chords. But I do some chord variations, some inversions as well. And let me take you through it. Shoplifting in my hometown. Shoplifting today. So there's 2 chords, A flat minor and E flat minor. After the first round of the chorus, we just do the A flat minor and the E flat minor, but now we add 7ths to those 2 chords to add again some more texture. Shoplifting in my hometown, shoplifting today. And the 7ths. Shoplifting in my hometown, shoplifting today. So you hear the difference? A flat minor, A flat minor 7, E flat minor, E flat minor 7. So again, pay attention to the top note of the chord you're playing, so it doesn't necessarily end up the same place as the note you're singing. Shoplifting. Like here, I can do shoplifting in my hometown. Shoplifting, shoplifting in my hometown. You see? So you can vary those chords to create a better effect. And adding the 7ths is also a nice touch, in my opinion. So that's the verses, that's the choruses. And now we get to the bridge. And the chords is as follows. D diminished, E flat minor, A flat minor with an F bass, and a D flat. Again, D diminished, E flat minor, C, and we end with F. And then I enter the store, slick as a ferret. What looks good? I better start around, found someone new, and recruit my own crew. And back to shoplifting. Shoplifting in my hometown, going away for a long time. So the moral of it all, do not steal, thou shalt not steal. Well, there you have it, a little tutorial on how I made my song Shoplifting. I hope you found some of the tricks or tips interesting and something you'd like to try out in your own writing sessions. As always, I'm Espen Kraft, I am the 80s. I'm taking a little summer break right now, but I'll be back with you shortly with new videos. Thank you so much for watching, have a nice summer, and cheers! What